He laughed uproariously, as if I were a clown performing for him. My annoyance and embarrassment grew in proportion. "You're very violent," he commented casually. "You're taking yourself too seriously." "But weren't you doing the same?" I interjected. "Taking yourself seriously when you got angry at me?" He said that to get angry at me was the farthest thing from his mind. He looked at me piercingly. "What you saw was not an agreement from the world," he said. "Crows flying or cawing are never an agreement. That was an omen." "An omen of what?" "A very important indication about you," he replied cryptically. At that very instant, the wind blew the dry branch of a bush right to our feet. "That was an agreement!" he exclaimed, and looked at me with shiny eyes and broke into a belly laugh. I had the feeling that he was teasing me by making up the rules of his strange game as we went along. Thus, it was all right for him to laugh, but not for me. My annoyance mushroomed again, and I told him what I thought of him. He wasn't cross or offended at all. He laughed, and his laughter caused me even more anguish and frustration. I thought that he was deliberately humiliating me. I decided right then that I had had my fill of field work. I stood up and said that I wanted to start walking back to his house because I had to leave for Los Angeles. "Sit down," he said imperatively. "You get peeved like an old lady. You can't leave now, because we're not through yet." I hated him. I thought he was a contemptuous man. He began to sing an idiotic Mexican folk song. He was obviously imitating some popular singer. He elongated certain syllables and contracted others and made the song into a most farcical affair. It was so comical that I ended up laughing. "You see? You laugh at the stupid song," he said. "But the man who sings it that way and those who pay to listen to him aren't laughing. They think it's serious." "What do you mean?" I asked. I thought he'd deliberately concocted the example to tell me that I'd laughed at the crow because I hadn't taken it seriously, the same way I hadn't taken the song seriously. But he baffled me again. He said I was like the singer and the people who liked his songs, conceited and deadly serious about some nonsense that no one in his right mind should give a damn about. He then recapitulated, as if to refresh my memory, all he had said before on the topic of learning about plants. He stressed emphatically that if I really wanted to learn, I had to remodel most of my behavior. My sense of annoyance grew until I had to make a supreme effort to even take notes. "You take yourself too seriously," he said slowly. "You're too damn important in your own mind. That must be changed. You're so goddamn important that you feel justified to be annoyed with everything. You're so damn important that you can afford to leave if things don't go your way. I suppose you think that shows you have character. That's nonsense. You're weak and conceited." I tried to stage a protest, but he didn't budge. He pointed out that in the course of my life, I hadn't ever finished anything because of that sense of disproportionate importance that I attached to myself. I was flabbergasted at the certainty with which he made his statements. They were true, of course, and that made me feel not only angry, but also threatened.